do you do when you have lots of overripe bananas? You make banana bread with honey, of course. My husband has a couple custodians that are Filipino and they love to give him fruit. So we got blackberries, raspberries, strawberries, bananas, and apples this week. And there's no way we can eat that much of those. So they also have a competition with lumpia, but that's another story for another day. So we're gonna make the banana bread, and it takes 3 overripe bananas, honey of course, and I'm going to use the granulated, remember the hack that I showed you how to get granulation out? So I have actually softened up some of this to use in it. It's right here. And it takes applesauce. I usually use my homemade applesauce, but I went to the freezer and it was all gone. So my family's eaten it all. So I actually went and got this, it's unsweetened applesauce. Flour, salt, baking soda. Make sure you got soda, not powder, and 2 eggs. So let's go ahead and get started with this. The first thing you need to do is mix the applesauce and the honey. So this is exactly 1/2 cup of applesauce. I'm going to mix that in. And I have already softened up the honey, which is 3/4 a cup of honey. See, that was granulated, so that's how you can use it in your cooking. You wonder, it's still good? Of course. And it's really good for marinade and for baking. So we've got that in there. And you mix these 2 ingredients. While that is mixing, I'm going to combine, over here, I have 2 cups of flour. And you can use whole wheat, or you can use regular flour. You use 1 teaspoon of baking soda, and 1/4 teaspoon of salt. And you mix those up so that they're just mixed in right there. And the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to stir in my beaten eggs. So I've taken 2 eggs and I've beaten them. So it's gonna go in there. I'm gonna mix that. And my mashed bananas. I have 3 overripe bananas that I've mashed up using a fork because I like mine a little lumpy. That's why I like my homemade applesauce. It's a little lumpy and it's only sweetened with a little bit of honey. But this will do for today. So we mix that in there. Then we're going to combine the dry and the wet only until it's moist. Goes in the dry. And I'm just gonna do it till it's moist. And I'm gonna lightly grease. You can do 1 loaf and 1 loaf bake it at 350 degrees for 30 minutes, for 1 hour. But I'm gonna do the 4 loaf here, and I'm only gonna cook it for 30 minutes. And then you cool it for 10 minutes, and then you put it out on this rack. Should come clean when it's done with the toothpick in this, but I'd rather undercook a little bit because it cooks a little bit when it comes out. You can also add cinnamon to this. That's an option. So it's halfway full. I've heated the oven to 350. I have a convection oven, so it should cook faster than normal. So I'm gonna check it probably at 20 to 30 minutes. So, it's gonna be good. There we go. So the reason I only fill it half full is so that it wouldn't overflow. So that's kind of something nice to know. And I know you can use bananas for smoothies, but hey, we got so many we can do it for both. So I want you to be sure and find the bee, grandchildren. Have you found it? See it behind me? I don't know. Anyway, you have an option of putting cinnamon in this, nuts. You can do Greek yogurt, coconut oil, all different things. But before you do any of that, make sure your family's not allergic to it or somebody you're serving it to isn't. So it's going to cool for 10 minutes, then I'll flip it over on this to cool for the rest of the time, and then we can eat it. If you like this video, be sure and subscribe and share with other people. Check me out on Facebook, Pinterest. I put the recipes all there. Twitter, Instagram. Have a sweet day. Bye.